Many MAGA Republicans say they want Trump to bring back the gold standard, or even back the US dollar with Bitcoin. It sounds revolutionary, right? Hard money, honest money, sound money. But here's the problem. Trump's actual record is one of Keynesian economics. Deficit spending, tariffs, cheap credit, and government intervention. And Keynesianism and hard money don't mix. In fact, they completely contradict one another. So let's unpack this contradiction. Because if you think Trump is both a gold standard president and a Keynesian president, you've fallen for an economic illusion. What the gold Bitcoin standard really means. The gold standard once tied every US dollar to a fixed weight of gold. It limited how much money the government could print, which in turn limited deficits, stimulus, and debt growth. In short, it put a leash on politicians. Bitcoin, in many ways, takes this idea even further. With its fixed 21 million supply, Bitcoin represents the hardest money humanity has ever invented. It's a system designed to reject manipulation, reject inflation, and reject government bailouts. Both gold and Bitcoin are the economic equivalent of saying, politicians, you can't keep spending what you don't have. Now let's look at Trump in office. Before COVID even hit, Trump's administration was running trillion-dollar deficits. He passed massive tax cuts without cutting spending. He waged a trade war through tariffs, which are a Keynesian-style intervention meant to shape markets. And he repeatedly pressured the Federal Reserve to keep interest rates low to juice growth. That's not sound money. That's Keynes 101. Spend big, borrow big, and stimulate demand at all costs. When COVID struck, Trump supported and signed into law the largest stimulus package in U.S. history, direct checks to households, expanded unemployment, business bailouts. Again, pure Keynesian demand management. This is not the behavior of a gold standard president. It's the behavior of a president who wants maximum flexibility in monetary and fiscal policy. Why Keynes and gold don't mix? Here's the contradiction. Keynesianism relies on government being able to spend and borrow freely. The gold standard or a Bitcoin-backed dollar makes that impossible. Under a gold or Bitcoin standard, deficits are limited. The government can't just print money to cover them. Keynesianism, by contrast, thrives on the ability to print and spend during recessions. You cannot both tie money to a scarce resource and run Keynesian stimulus. It's like saying you want to eat all the cake you want, but also go on a strict no-sugar diet.
Why MAGA Republicans believe both. So why do many MAGA Republicans believe Trump is a sound money hero, while also embracing his Keynesian policies? Part of it is nostalgia. The gold standard is seen as a symbol of American greatness, a time when money was real. Bitcoin is seen as the modern rebellion against central banks. Both are emotional anchors for a movement that distrusts elites and the Federal Reserve. But at the same time, MAGA voters also cheer Trump's spending, his tax cuts, his tariffs, and his stimulus. They want the government to keep juicing the economy, while also believing in the rhetoric of sound money. It's a political paradox, wanting two opposing economic systems at once. The political reality. Here's the truth. If Trump really brought back the gold standard or backed the dollar with Bitcoin, his entire economic playbook would collapse. No trillion-dollar deficits, no pressure on the Fed to lower rates, no massive stimulus during crises. His Keynesian toolkit would vanish. That's why, when you look closely, Trump has never actually moved to restore a hard money standard. He floats the rhetoric. He praises Bitcoin or gold as symbols, but in practice, He governs like a Keynesian. So, here's the question for MAGA Republicans. Which Trump do you believe in? The Trump who talks about sound money, or the Trump who governs like a Keynesian? Because you can't have it both ways. Either you want the discipline of gold and Bitcoin, or you want the big spending, deficit-driven Keynesian Trump. And if you believe Trump can somehow deliver both sound money and endless stimulus, then maybe you're buying into the greatest economic contradiction of our time.